Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to The Pitch with Fox, Beatoms, and Mitch. I'm your host, John Fox, alongside here with Beatoms and Mitch Sabatelli.
What's going on?
Top stories of the week. Jim Harbaugh leaves Stanford for the 49ers, and the Cowboys remove the interim tag from Jason Garrett. Now, thoughts on Harbaugh?
I think it's a good move by the 49ers. You know, Jim Harbaugh was solid in Stanford. They just won the Orange Bowl, actually, with some help from his quarterback and Andrew Luck. The 49ers have some parts there. It's not that bad. You know, they got Frank Gore, very good running back in the backfield. You got Patrick Willis, one of the best middle linebackers in the game. It's a solid offense, solid defense. You got Crabtree as a wide receiver. They're just going to work out that quarterback situation. You know, who is it? Alex Smith, Troy Smith? Is it somebody else?
Vince Young.
Maybe Vince Young. That's a good idea. We'll talk about that later. But, you know, at least there's some parts in place there. They play in a weak division. They play in the NFC West. I mean, all you need is some leadership, maybe string a few wins together. And
you don't have to win 7 games to make the playoffs. I mean,
you just string a few wins together. Maybe you got a good team there. Who knows?
I mean, they won, 6 games this year, I think?
I think it was 5 or 6.
Because they were 1 game out of the playoffs, so I think it was 6. And then they had no quarterback. So if they get a quarterback, you know, maybe this coaching thing will work out. I mean, going from college to the pros is like a player going from college to the pros. You know, Tim Tebow was like the greatest thing in college, and now he's a backup, you know?
Well, he's decent.
He's decent, but I just don't see him being a Tom Brady type player.
I could see it, actually. Well, not Tom Brady, but I could see him leading the Denver a few wins.
The most I can see him is possibly matching Matt Castle.
I don't want to go too off topic, but, you know, Tim Tebow, one thing that was a problem was how he's going to translate that run game into the NFL, and he translated it pretty good. You saw him running pretty good.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, you know, Jim Harbaugh, they need some leadership in 49ers. It's not a tough division, so just get your players together, and I think he'll do pretty well.
I mean, they weren't going to get anyone better than him. I mean, you know, there's no top coach that's going to want to go to the 49ers after they've been on a good team. So you got to start somewhere. But, I mean, I didn't really mind Singletary that much. You know, he was solid.
He had his moments. You know, he had some media problems, too.
Yeah, but, I mean, he wasn't afraid to speak his mind to the players.
He had that problem with Vernon Davis. Yeah, he told Vernon Davis to hit the showers a few years ago. I think it was last year.
But I thought that was a great move.
That's a good move.
I mean, to tell one of your top players to basically get off the field.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
if you're the 49ers, would you rather get a guy like Jim Harbaugh, or would you go outside and maybe get a Bill Cowher or somebody like that?
See, I think that Dallas should have got Bill Cowher, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Like I said,
you like Jim Harbaugh?
I don't think Bill Cowher would go there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're looking for a college coach, then this is definitely the right move.
I mean, his brother's doing really good with the Ravens, John Harbaugh. That's true, but it's in his genes.
Where's Bill Belichick's brother? I don't even know if he has a brother, but I'm just saying.
There's a lot of, the Ryans now, Rex Ryan, Rob Ryan. You can see a couple brothers here.
All right. Thoughts on Jason Garrett?
Well, I mean, it's obviously a good move getting rid of Wade Phillips because nobody liked him. I mean, it was made.
The guy was the joke, the joke of the NFL.
But I mean, yeah, I know they were supposed to. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
No. He would just look dumbfounded, like it's his fault.
Everywhere you look, he had that dumb face.
Why did we lose? Oh, we didn't.
Because it was me.
No, because all my players hate me. But
he started in Hard Knocks. He wasn't even good in Hard Knocks.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I thought Bill Cowher, they could have tried to get him, you know. But I mean, staying inside the organization is not a bad idea. But I think for a team like Dallas, they need to win now to keep their franchise going.
Yeah.
Because right now their franchise has a hole in it and they're starting to sink. And nobody wants to watch Dallas anymore.
What better to win now, like you said, than get Jason Garrett? You know, Jason Garrett knows the system, he knows the offense, he knows the defense. Romo comes back. You know, he did pretty good. You know, Romo was out this season with Wade Phillips and Romo. Dallas sucked. Without Romo, they bring up Jason Garrett. They start winning some games. Who knows? With Romo back, with more chemistry, Des Bryant back into this offense. Jason Garrett knows all the plays, knows all the schemes. You know, they're America's team. I don't want them to win, but some people want them to win. They want them to do good. Jason Garrett has no media attention to him. He has no credentials. Nobody really is expecting much from him. Just keep your mouth shut, really. Just keep that team in focus, and you can win some games.
Yeah, I guess we're really just going to have to watch for next season to see what happens. But
you know, new stadium, new coach. I think this is good. Just clean slate for them. You know, especially after this down year. I think they need a good season this year. I think Jason Garrett's the way to go.
I mean, this is one of the hardest topics to talk about because
It is.
you never know what's going to happen with the coach.
You don't know.
I mean, Bill Belichick was a special teams coordinator, and now look at him. You know, probably would you say the greatest coach in history?
I would say right now.
I
I still say people say Chuck Noll's pretty good, Vince Lombardi, but from what I've seen, Bill Belichick's
But I
pretty
mean, Belichick in, what's it been, really like 10 years? Because you don't really count before
Yeah.
Brady.
A lot of people are criticizing him for the Browns years, but what he's done with the Patriots is phenomenal.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you can't take that away from him.
I
think
mean,
he's
even
best
with the
coach ever.
Browns, he wasn't that bad. I mean, you see people that have done a lot worse.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like about Belichick is I don't think he should be the GM and the coach, but that's a topic for another day, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has done some pretty good things like that, too, so we'll see.
Next up.
All right, moving on. Adrian Beltre finally signs a big contract with the Rangers. Reportedly 6 years, $96 million.
Yeah, possibly too big. That's a lot of money to give Adrian Beltre. Most of his production's always in contract years. You saw with the Red Sox and Dodgers, a big 2 years on both contract years.
I think this is going to come back to screw him.
Yeah, but if you're gonna give 6 years, if you're gonna sign a big name free agent, which Adrian Beltre is, you're gonna have to give, whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to give him 6 years. I know he's 32.
The years isn't a problem for me, though. It's the amount of money. He's not worth that much.
I think it's the years, actually. 6 years, he's 32. Ideally, I think you want him from 2 to 3 years, but the Rangers need to do something. They lost out on Cliff Lee. They needed that big guy to bring the fans to the stadium, really. And Adrian Beltre can be that guy, But the only bad problem with Adrian Beltre is they already had a third baseman, Michael Young. And Michael Young's their core guy, the leader, the heart and soul for that team. And now Michael Young has to go to DH. And he's already criticizing the Rangers for saying he'll play DH, but he still feels like he's an everyday
But the
player.
good thing about him is he can play any infield position.
He can. He switched when A-Rod left. He went to shortstop.
And he was second base.
He was second base with A-Rod. Without A-Rod, he moved to shortstop. And then he moved to third base with Elvis Andrews. That guy's a team player. Great class act guy.
Yeah.
Now he's even shifting. He was the one who said he would play for DH. They take that, they shift, they let Guerrero go, and we'll see about Beltre. But it might be too much years, but you gotta do something.
I think this was a good move in the sense that you want to put fans in the seats.
Yeah.
Because the fans needed something after losing Cliff Lee. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason to go back. Now you get Adrian Beltre, who was one of the top free agents this year. A lot of people consider him one of the top free agents. I personally don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had an astounding year last year. You can't take that away from him. But I just don't see him continuing.
If you're talking about putting fans in the seats, how about a guy like Rafael Soriano? We talk about losing Cliff Lee. Neftali Feliz was great. He has a great arm. Great season as closer. But he wants to move to the starting rotation. And Rafael Soriano is somehow still out there. I know there's Yankee rumors that he said he could set up for Mariano Rivera. I don't see that happening. I think Soriano needs to be that closer.
I can see that happening.
Maybe.
Especially with the Yankees might be putting Jobber Chamberlain in the starting rotation.
Why wouldn't you do that with Neftali Feliz, though? The Rangers get Brandon Webb. They have that decent...
But I'm just saying, I think the Yankees have a better shot at getting him than the Rangers. That's, to do the same.
Losing Cliff Lee is a big thing, but getting Adrian Beltre, getting Brandon Webb, possibly moving Neftali Feliz into the starting rotation. If you grab Rafael Soriano, with that division, the Mariners aren't anything.
I think losing Lee is more overrated than people are talking about.
It is. Like I said a long time ago, I said Lee might be the greatest midseason acquisition ever. And I'm not just saying that. You saw what he did in the playoffs. That was a terrific job by Daniels, the GM. That was a great midseason. It wasn't just a guy, oh, look, we're down. We need to get somebody. Let's go out and get the best pitcher. They have a great lineup. They just need that big guy. And losing Cliff Lee is going to hurt. But I think they're in the right direction. And if they get a Rafael Soriano, move Neftali Feliz, like I said, with that weak division, Mariners aren't that great. I know the A's are doing something, but the Angels have a horrible offseason. I still see them as the favorite to win West again.
Easily. So, like I said, I think the Rangers are going to be fine, but I don't see why you give this big of a contract to Beltre.
We'll see. It's going to be like a Jason Warren thing.
Yeah. JD Drew.
All right, moving on. Next top story. Matt Garza shipped north to Chicago for prospects. Thoughts on this, guys?
Well,
Dumb.
It is dumb. Tampa Bay, I know it's a small market team, and I'm a fan of a big market team, but it must suck to be a fan of a small market team. You lose Carl Crawford to your division rival, the Red Sox, and then you lose Rafael Soriano, you lose Jason Bartlett to the Padres, you don't lose Carlos Pena, you lost Carlos Pena to the Cubs. Cubs get Carlos Pena and Matt Garza now.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. You have one of the best rotations with Price, Garza, Neiman, Davis, Shields.
I mean, Neiman was one of my favorite pitchers last year.
Yeah, but
I mean, you saw me in fantasy. I wouldn't give him up.
I can see what you're doing though with Carl Crawford. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend if you're a small market team, and a guy like Desmond Jennings could possibly win Rookie of the Year this year. But why would you trade Matt Garza? The guy doesn't make that much money. He's still under control for a while. Keep him. You're a small market team. Rotation's getting you some places, and you know those fans are terrible. They need cowbells to make noise. Those fans do nothing. They know nothing about baseball.
It's the Florida weather.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, you look at the Marlins. They dumped their whole team, and now it looks like Tampa Bay's doing the same thing.
Yeah, but.
So.
I mean, the fans are finally respecting that team. They're finally coming to the games. Why are you trading it? I know you had to lose some players, but why are you trading extra players?
Why do you have to lose any players, though?
Well, because Carl Crawford and Carl
No,
Pena
but think about it. You know, yeah, if they had kept them, they might have taken a hit in the money department for a year or two.
What?
But they're going to be bringing in more and more fans, and if you hold on to these pieces,
Yeah.
you're going to get more and more fans, and eventually they're going to be selling out.
I don't even think. I mean, the Rays, they're in trouble for even third place. See what the Orioles did with Mark Reynolds and
I'm afraid of the Orioles.
in Toronto with Lynn could have a bounce back season. Hill and they got Jose Bautista. Who knows what he can do? You know?
I say the Orioles and Tampa Bay completely flip.
I don't know.
I can see the Orioles coming in third.
I still give Tampa Bay third for right now, but they need to keep their team. And I don't see Dan Johnson as that answer at first base either.
After losing Crawford, Pena, Bartlett, and Garza.
Yeah, and that bullpen, too. That bullpen was great. They lose Soriano, they lose Dan Wheeler to the Red Sox, too, and they lose Grant Balfour. You know, they're killing their team right now.
That's what? Like
And then let's just
9
trade
players?
Garza. Let's just give up. You know, they play the toughest division in baseball. Yankees and Red Sox, it's a two-team race right now in my
They're
opinion.
screwed.
I think so.
All right, we have about 3 minutes for some fan mail, some
Viewer
fan
mails.
questions. So
Fans.
let's start it up.
We love you, fans.
Yes, we do. Jack from Las Vegas asked us, will the Rangers regret the Beltre contract, and also which deal is worse, Beltre's or Jason Worth?
They have sports in Vegas?
No, they don't.
I was going to
I
say.
don't know. Well,
really.
at least it's fun.
Primarily just casinos and...
You know, I
Nothing.
hate both deals really. I think I like Adrian Beltre's a little bit better. I just don't get the Jason Worth deal. You know, you're a young team. You have Steven Strasburg. You have Jason, the big guy, Bryce Harper coming up. You know, you're a young team. Why waste all your money on Jason Worth? He's not like a superstar talent. The guy batted 6th for the Phillies. Who cares? You don't need to give that much money. I like the Beltre deal better.
I don't like either one of them.
I don't either.
But, I mean...
But like we said, the Rangers had to do something. I know the 6
Yeah.
years are tough, but you got to give them 6 years.
I mean, Worth got the exact same contract as Crawford. So
Yeah.
clearly that's a worse deal.
I think he got lower than Crawford, but close.
Well, it was pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty close, and he was paid before.
And I think
Crawford.
Crawford was a little overpaid too.
Yeah, and he was paid before Crawford.
Mm.
So how does that even make sense?
And it is, you can kind of compare them too, because they're both 32. They're both past their prime almost. I don't like either deal really. I like Adrian Beltre a little bit better, because the Rangers had to do something. I don't know what the Nationals are doing.
All right.
Keep Adam done.
Up next, Miguel from New York asked us which MLB team has the poorest offseason and why.
Well, Miguel, it might be your team, the Yankees, if you're a Yankees fan, but I'm going to give it to Angels. Tony Wiggins, the GM.
I'm not going to say the Yankees had a horrible offseason.
They didn't lose people. They got Jeter and Rivera back.
1 minute.
Yeah, but
I mean, they kept their whole team.
yeah, the Angels needed to do something.
They
though.
were great last year. So
The
why
Angels,
change?
for the first time in a while, they didn't win their division, and they needed to go out and they needed to get Carl Crawford. Socha's perfect for speed. They didn't get Carl Crawford. They don't get Adrian Beltre. Rafael Soriano is still out there, but they don't have much. They have a decent starters in Dan Harron and Jared Weaver. They have too much holes in offense. They need to do more in offense. And I give an F for Regans and the owner there.
I may give them an F. But I'm going to the other side of the country, to who we just talked about, Tampa Bay, and I'm giving them a quadruple F minus.
Tampa Bay?
They lost their entire team.
Yeah, they
so.
did.
And they were right in it. So
I like both those picks.
All right, so we'll
Tony
see.
Regans, that was terrible design.
We will see you up next. Our second part of the pitch is dedicated to the NFL playoffs, so you better
Don't miss it.
You better stay tuned.